The Cultbusters have their monthly meeting at the home of the Menlo couple.
Good afternoon, and welcome all of you to the July 2063 meeting of the Cultbusters. As president of the Cultbusters, I, Barry Menlo, will proceed with roll call. Joyce Menlo?
Here.
Matthew Jesse?
Here.
Fatima Jesse?
Here.
Helen Sims?
Here.
So all the members of the Cultbusters in Chicago are present and accounted for. Let us proceed with the agenda.
One of the biggest problems we face, me as a non-religious Jew who came from Israel, and Fatima as an Arabic Muslim, is seeing repeatedly representatives of our former religions and our nationalities totally debase both Judaism and Islam, making them expressions of the ugliest forms of nationalism. Jews often talk about how terrible anti-Semitism in the distant past was, including the Holocaust of World War II. And then they proceed to engage in their own bigoted acts against the Palestinians, stealing their land and killing them off. People who see Israel doing things like that then wonder, what if the anti-Semites were right and the Jews really are evil and must be defeated?
And likewise, Muslims often complain about anti-Islamic discrimination in Western societies, but in Muslim states, people who leave Islam are persecuted, especially if they become atheists like me. The constant hypocrisy of people of most religions is what finally convinced both of us to believe in no religion at all. If you don't base your morals on religion, you don't discriminate against those of a different faith, or no faith at all.
I get that. But what about the communist states of the 20th century who often tried to enforce atheist views on the people? That's also wrong, isn't it?
Of course it is. I guess they were also bigots. Rejecting religion is not enough. We must affirm the rights of all human beings to live freely, whether religious or not. I remember as a child being taught about how Mormons were persecuted and even how the prophet Joseph Smith was martyred. And then I learned about how perverted and two-faced he really was. He made up the idea of polygamy being a good thing among Mormons as a means to reduce women, and even teenage girls, to sexual slavery. Religions and their leaders that violate human rights or look the other way when such violations happen in their communities must be fought against. You can't claim rights for yourself while violating them against others, ever.
As a black person, I was taught at the Watchtower cult I belonged to opposed prejudice against minorities like me. And then I learned from Helen about how they rejected LGBT people like her Aunt Lucy Sims. Lucy being black didn't matter if they hated her sexuality. And since I didn't choose to be straight, I realized it was absurd to call homosexuality sinful, for LGBT people didn't choose that. Just as I didn't choose my skin color.
They say that same-sex attraction is not a choice, but acting on the attraction is.
Sex is supposed to be the ultimate expression of love between two people, and the condemnation of homosexuality makes both gays and straights all about sex and not love. You can't force a different sexuality on people of the wrong orientation. That's what is unhealthy, not homosexuality itself.
I remember falling in love with the older guy who got me pregnant. I had sex with him because I loved him, but I only later learned he felt differently. His being straight didn't make him better than a gay man who truly loves his partner for life.
Exactly, Helen.
Oh, there they are. Thank you for bringing Polly. That was so kind of you.
You gave her life and I gave her a home, so as far as I am concerned, we are both her mothers. Polly, are you ready to spend the weekend with Helen?
Yes, Mama Sarah. I promise, I will be a good girl with Mama Helen.